Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is the 1-2 Kid, and I just felt like doing a live, man. Feeling all right now. Feeling pretty good, man. Getting over this little bullshit, and I just want to touch down with everybody. Tell everybody, me and the family's okay. If y'all got any questions about that thing that's going around, just drop it in the comment section, and I'll get back to you, man. Maybe I can help you out if you're going through it, or somebody else going through it, what have you. That's what we're here for, you know what I mean? To help each other out, man, through this bullshit pandemic that's going on and shit. So yeah, man. What's going on? We got Martin Machine in the building. Boxing Lounge, man. You know what I mean? If you guys are into PlayStation games and guys that do that, that get on and it's kind of, you could get a feel for the games and stuff, man. Go check out Boxing Lounge, man. They got it going on, man. You know what I mean? IBT, long time no see, bro. How you doing? The King, how's it going, bro? I just want to talk about some boxing too, of course. You know what I mean? I seen the Tank fight in the Isaac Cruz fight. I told everybody, I said this, may not be a walk in the park for that man. Everybody told me the talent gap was too much for Isaac Cruz. But to each his own, and it is what it is, and you got a somewhat entertaining fight. But the fact that these dudes was even in the ring for a pay-per-view to me was a bit it was kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling it. I don't feel like it was a bad fight or a bad matchup. I also said that I thought it would be a better fight than him and Rolly. You know what I mean? And it was, but we didn't see him in there with Rolly. So, I mean, I really can't say, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But it was an entertaining fight for the most part. Tank turned it up later in the fight and broke his hand. They said he broke it earlier. I don't know. I don't know what he broke it, but he certainly did turn it up. And I don't know, maybe the training that Mayweather putting him through makes you have brittle hands. Who knows? Something that nobody's ever really talked about, because he had the same issue, and this dude had a hard head, so he couldn't keep it turned up on him, and he should have did what I was talking about him doing, is use the distance and turn this guy from the beginning of the fight and so on and so forth, and not put too much into them shots and just land, unless you dig into the body, because you don't really have to worry about hand injuries when you go to the body as much as going to a big brick top head, man. And I know this dude had a crazy hard head. I mean, if you go and headbutt people on purpose, which he didn't, they kept it clean. So, what's going on, LeRon? How you doing, man? But yeah, man, I just decided to get on and see that the 135 division is now extremely interesting. We got a lot of guys that what if that was Kambosos in there? What if you can mix and match all these fighters now, and it's really the gap is not that big between these 135 pounders. They all have strengths and weaknesses, so we know that now. But me myself, as a boxing fan, I like the guys that are willing to mix it up with the best. That's why I'm not giving Tio as much heat as everybody else, is because he did get in there with those guys. He did get in with his mandatory. As for his mindset when he did so, that's what happens, man. Divaism to his maximum. And that's another issue that I have with Tank, is he been on the show for so long. I mean, fighting lower end competition, that this is what happens when you get in there with a guy who can mix it up with you. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Tony Reviews? When you do get in there with a guy who can take his shot, and a legitimate 135 pounder that's tough, and it may go 12. He might be in for a long night. That's what I said. He might be in for a long night, when he catches this dude, and he don't go nowhere. And the defense was, I wouldn't say that Tank's defense was pretty good, and so was Isaac Cruz. I mean, the way he was using his elbows on the inside defensively, I thought it was pretty smart, and his forearms blocking the uppies and sometimes the hooks catching them. I think these little subtle movements really helped him out in the fight, and neither one of these guys looked like they went 12. So like Tony Review says, quote unquote punch resistance. You know what I mean? They both have decent punch resistance. I don't know how good Tank's hand resistance is though, which could be lead to a problem later on, because when you're punching bigger guys and you're landing on bigger guys and they could take bigger shots, can your hand take it? So you got to find other things to do within the fight to do it. And I think it was a good thing for Tank, because maybe he's not gonna be underestimating these guys anymore. I'm pretty sure some people lost a lot of money because they thought that was going to be a stoppage, and it did not come to be that whatsoever. Let's see. So we got Tony Reviews in here. We got Truth Bomb Jake. What's going on, man? Long time no see. Got a couple folks in here. Been a while, y'all. Been a while. But I just felt like we seen Devin Haney in there with JoJo. And I think out of all the performances by the guys, I gotta say Devin Haney's was the most consistent. You know what I mean? Including Tank and Teal. It was a consistent. He showed some consistency. He did show some defense in there. I think every opportunity that he gave JoJo was based on what he was doing. It wasn't much what JoJo was doing. It was the mistakes that Haney was making. And Tank, I feel like he turns down and off when he feels like it. And when you keep doing that, what's going to happen is one day you're going to go to turn your shit on and your light ain't going to come on. And you're going to fuck around and get your ass whooped. And that comes from not sharpening iron with iron and not being in there with top-notch competition on a regular basis. I see with Smellerby and Mayweather are doing. They're keeping Canelo and Tank in the same conversation in their own little way, and this is their job to promote. So keep these guys in the same conversation, because you're promoting this guy and you want to hype up their fights and they lackluster pay-per-views. And that's what they basically doing their job. But I mean, when it comes to being in the ring at this point in time, Mayweather is irrelevant. He's a promoter. Stay promoting. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about what you've done to people and you've done this and all that. It's not like you can go back out there and prove it now. So what's the point? I mean, you did what you had to do, taking nothing away from you. But when you talk like that, same with Ellerby. I mean, I read between the lines. What Ellerby said about Eddie Hearn didn't surprise me. This is how he talks about any type of competition. He downplays them constantly. Talking about how he's smacking people. Yeah, this just bullshit talk. It's just talk. You know what I mean? I've seen him with Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia saying he smells something when he was next to him. He's like, "You're sweating, man. I smell something else." So I mean, but this dude's a promoter, man. That's what he's gonna do, or whatever he's getting paid to do. Whatever Floyd says he does. So I'm not. I don't care for it. They're giving Tank a easy route, and I think Tank paid for it. And it didn't. He didn't lose. I don't. Some people say Isaac Cruz won. I wouldn't go that far. I thought Tank beat him. But I think hopefully it was a wake up call for him. Hopefully it was a wake up call for Teofimo Lopez. But like I said, I don't really have much criticism for Haney in his performance. In these performances, these are the criticisms that I give Tank and Teo. I don't have any criticism for Haney. I do have some for JoJo. The man didn't let his fucking hands go. He let the man dictate the fight. And if you're gonna get hit on the outside, you might as well get hit coming inside. So, I mean, you're getting punched anyway. So, what's it? And if the punches ain't hurting you, fighting on your back foot and in the high guard, And the defense worked good, but just defense and no offense don't win fights. You got to score too. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with defense, but hit first and then not get hit second. So I don't know if he was downloading information like Lomachenko or whatever the fuck. That shit didn't work out for him in the Tio fight, but it is what it is. But yeah, like if you guys got any questions, man, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to talk. I got opinions. I got opinions, and that's all they are, y'all, is opinions. So sometimes when I say shit, it comes out to be fact. Sometimes when I say shit, it comes out to be wrong. I'm a human being like the rest of you mofos. You know what I'm saying? So, but at least I'm not afraid to tell the truth. What's going on, exclusive? Lisa Bell's in the chat, the queen. And if y'all ain't subscribed to exclusive, go check that out. And that goes for Tony Reviews as well. He's always dropping videos, and I like the consistency that these guys are showing. The OTK has been inconsistent, and that's why, because I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I've been kind of losing interest in this whole boxing thing because it's kind of like rinse and repeat, and I can see this shit happening. And I don't like to bring lives down and talk about certain things that I would like to talk about, because then there'd be no point in having a conversation. Keeping it 2 real promotions. So, but it is what it is, man. I gotta find that, that yin and yang. What's going on, LeRon? Toby Bartlett, how you doing, man? But yeah, man, if y'all got any questions about anything, man, just drop them. But I do feel like actually 135 is heating up. We got some unifications going on there. We also got some we got some undisputed in boxing as well. So that's something to be kind of excited about. You know what I mean? Probably not the toughest divisions, but still in all undisputed nonetheless. As for Canelo moving up to make history, I'm really not interested in the fight. I'm not interested in fighting what's his face. It is a big guy, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily call it a big task. This guy, his name rings no bells amongst casuals or hardcore fans. It's not, I don't know, man. I guess it's just quote unquote for history. Sounds like the bullshit bag, the shit that we hear from Tank, and that's the thing is, when I talk, when I flame on these guys, I flame them equally. I can flame Canelo, I can flame Tank Davis and not sweat the other person. But it comes to the point where a lot of casual fans will say things like, well, you hate on him because you're a Canelo fan, or you hate on Canelo because you like Tank. And it's like, I'm not caught up in that hype shit with either one of them motherfuckers. But I certainly don't think that Tank is anywhere near Canelo's level. That's just a fact. I think he got good skills, but I feel like he's selling himself short and overselling himself at the same time by not getting in there with good competition. And if he does get in with good competition and they demand this type of money, what type of pay-per-view price are you going to be paying when he gets in there with a top-notch guy? What are you going to be paying? $140? What are you going to be paying to watch this dude fight top-notch competition if he's even willing to do so, or his team's willing to allow him to do so? And it's something that he needs to do for his legacy eventually. You know what I mean? For his legacy eventually. That's why I don't give Tio that much heat. For the way he's moving, absolutely. But I called it like I seen it, man. It's like playing out all over again for me. So it's like the second time I'm running through it, because I could see what was happening. You know what I mean? I could see that this was going to be the issue when this dude in his young state of mind reached this success. And if you ain't got the right people around you, success doesn't, make you. It reveals you. And it reveals your team. It reveals the people around you. And this is what you wind up with. We don't get the biggest fights, and you see guys, get their ass kicked because they think too much of themselves and don't put the work in the gym. And that's what you got. And then you got a lot of these casual fans out here that bring up excuses after excuse to why this man lost, this man cheated, this man got half a lung, this dude, his shoulders fucked up. All of it. All of it. I see who people are biased for, even though they sometimes agree with me. I see who they're biased for. Like it don't change. I see who they push. I know the people who sweat Lomachenko. I know the people who sweat Teal. I know the people who sweat Tank and Wilder, AJ, and all these guys. But there's certain dudes that I feel like just move different. And I like the way that AJ moves outside of the ring because the dude likes smoke. And when he's willing to get in there and you see a guy lose, then it's like, oh, he got exposed. It's like, at least he got in there with a motherfucker that could fight. At least he been consistent. That's why I'm not mad at certain fighters, because consistency comes with losses. You know what I'm saying? It comes with losses, and giving us the fights that we want, you might get your ass whooped, or you might be quote unquote exposed. But I think it's exposing who you are by not taking the fight. This whole Spence thing, it's been going on for 4 years, man. And these dudes still think that Bud don't want that work. Like, delusional. You know what I mean? Like, them two brain cells just ain't working. Like, they just ain't working. Like, I don't know how much more you could cut one guy wanting to smoke and one guy wanting it, and then you coming up with every excuse in the book why Spence is so much better than Bud. I just don't get it. Well, as a welterweight, it's like, since when did that matter? What he did in welterweight? Like, what? Why does that even matter? You see guys move up all the time that were undisputed or unified, move up to another a weight class, and they're not pushed in the back of the line. They're brought up to the front. You know what I mean? Because they earned their way. They earned their way. That's why a Josh Taylor in a Bud Crawford fight isn't a far-fetched idea, because both of these dudes want smoke, and the dude stepping up from being undisputed, taking the same path that Bud Crawford did. So, shit, who you got fighters and promoters or quote unquote promoters and fans saying, "Who's Josh Taylor? He ain't ringing no bells." Yeah, you ringing bells, man. You ringing fighters' bells, real fighters' bells as well. So, just something to think about. You know what I mean? Let's see. So, what else we got here? Let me drop the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me drop the link, see what's going on. See, everybody's spreading a lot of love out there. Says exclusive saying, I'm on in a bit of a hiatus. Have a fight this weekend and in the following weekend. Well, yo, man, good luck, man. And I'm pretty sure you're putting in that work, man. Take it easy on the lives and get your ass in the gym. Keep that 1 foot in, man. But you sound like you got, your head's in the game. So, you know what I mean? Stay working hard, man, and I hope that works out for you. I hear you can fight too, so congratulations on being in the game, and you know what I mean. I hope it works out and turns out well for you, man. I could say, yeah, I used to shout out exclusive back in the day before you become a champ. You give me something to brag about. You know what I'm saying? But good luck, man. And remember, man, hard work pays off, man. Always keep 1 foot in the door, man. Keep that training going, man. Don't be slacking off. That way it makes it 10 times easier when you get back in that ring, because you ain't really skip a beat. You always stay fresh. Yeah, but good luck with everything, man. No doubt. Hope that works out well for you. Got Lisa Bell shouting everybody out. Yeah, IBT, been a minute, man. Mar the Machine, man. Yo, Mar, it got to be one of my favorite guys, man. That dude, man, he's a trip. He ain't fold either, man. When I was getting into my little beefs at one point in time, man, he stuck with the guns. I had some people who dropped off, man. You know, they wanted everyone else wanted to roll with the bandwagon because the truth hurts. Oh man, it is what it is, though. Same with Toby and Lisa. I appreciate all the support, guys. He says 4 years and Spence versus Bud still not made. But look how many women huge fight fans been made during that time. Crazy. Salute to the ladies. Big respect. You're right. The ladies have been, keeping it going. There are a couple though. I think when we were on Black's channel, they were talking about somebody in particular that said that they didn't want no smoke. So I hope it don't spread, and I hope the ladies nip that shit in the bud and just put out, make sure that they put it out there that this person is just ducking, because the ladies been putting it on, and I hope they keep that same energy which I believe eventually will happen, is these ladies will start making big money and start getting premiere shows, and when that happens, like when they really catch it, you know what I'm saying? I hope that they keep the same energy so that we can enjoy them entertaining fights and they can make an example to the guys how boxing should be ran. Pretty sad, but it's the truth. So yeah, you're right, Toby. No doubt about it. We got Martin Ramos in the building as well. What's going on, bro? So what y'all think about the whole Tank Isaac Cruz fight? Did y'all think? I thought it was a decent fight. I thought there was a bit of a talent gap there, but it wasn't enough to make it a not close fight. I felt like Tank won, but not by much. I felt like the dude was somewhat underestimated. He's a tough guy. He landed some good shots. I think Tank did what he had to do to get by, but I think, he did press it though. Later in the fight, I think it was like the 7th or 8th round where he turned it on, and man, he looked great when he was doing it too. He looked great, but you can't keep your foot on fourth gear all night unless you train like that. And he probably didn't want to break his other hand as well in the process, but just things that you got to deal with when you're in there. Guys like Floyd have been through things like that, and but you take Floyd for instance, he still looks stellar with broken hands, and that's very, very, very hard to do. You know what I mean? When you're only in there with two hands, you know what I'm saying? You only got two hands in there, and if you break one of them bad boys, that's one of your weapons. That's some of your defense. And even blocking shots got to be painful as shit. I never ended a hand in a boxing match, but I could just imagine doing so. It would fucking suck. But it is what it is. But 135 is sparking up, and it seems like Ryan's trying to get in the conversation. The fact that people are mentioning him, guys like Kambosos, means that he's reaching into his bag of bullshit already this soon in the game. You could say looking for a payday or a recognition fight, but you just beat Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to a Ryan Garcia. To me, seems like a step back, even if there's money involved. Because you were talking like you were a legacy guy, and now you're talking like why this guy is even in question. I don't know. Probably make for a decent fight, but like I said, so did the last fight with Tank, but it still wasn't worth it. I'm greedy as a boxing fan. I like to see legacy, money, and step up fights. So I like it all, man. I'm hard to impress. I'm hard to impress in this game, But yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But when you're running around saying things like "I'm the number one guy," and we can talk now. It's like, come on, man. But I don't see you jumping on that Lomachenko for as much as he was dick riding him in the Teofimo, pre-fight hype. I don't see him saying, "I want Lomachenko next." Yeah, he ain't want that smoke. I ain't see him. He did call out Tank, but that kind of makes you, it's kind of like Haney right there saying, "Yo, let's get this real undisputed shit going." and he's just like keeping it in the conversation, keeping you on the hook just to switch up last minute. That's what I see happening. Valdez and Navarrete? I don't know. Sounds like a good fight. Let's see if Valdez, can keep his nose out the cabinet. You know what I mean? Let's see if he can keep his nose, because I don't think he deserves that championship right now. I think he should have been stripped, and then just he still would have been in the high rankings. You get back in there and just clean it up, but just take your shots. You know what I mean? When you're guilty of something, you're guilty of something, and then just move on from it and beat it like a man, as to just sitting around and pretending like it didn't happen, and then sweeping it under the rug, because now it's gonna be on you like a bad tattoo. You're gonna have to wear that shit. Even Canelo, they still bring up his shit. You know what I mean? Even though he was cleared and he ain't been caught on none of this shit, it's still there. It's still lingering. You put that stain on yourself. You gotta wear that shit stain wherever you go, man. It's like, yeah, man, you still got that shit stain. But if you take it like that, then it kind of you kind of redeeming yourself. You know what I mean? If you're taking it correctly and saying, boom, you know what, this probably ain't the best route. I ain't, when your team ain't sitting there fighting to cover some shit up. You know what I mean? But they all want the money. But I mean, you weren't thinking like that when you got into the game. So don't let the game change you. You know what I mean? You can change with the game, but don't let the game change you. You know what I mean? You can make some minor adjustments. You can tweak some things here and there, but I think these guys is literally just changing completely over, man. Silk Sheets, promotions. Herb Bob was trying to make it. The fight? Well, I mean, if you're willing to pay, I'm sure they'll be willing to play. And it's a decent fight, but then there you go again. What's he doing? Like, why ain't that man in the mix with fucking, if Top Rank trying to make that fight, why ain't Top Rank trying to make fucking the WB Valdez and fucking and Shakur Stevens? And it raises my argument that I said 2 years ago that Shakur was going to be the guy. Like, do you guys really, now after all you've seen Teofimo, you've seen Devin Haney, you've seen Tank Davis, you've seen Ryan Garcia outside of the ring as well, do you think that Shakur is going to have that much problems with these guys? Told y'all. I hate to say it, but I told y'all. I told y'all, man. Shakur Stevens is the real deal. You can say that, man, feather fisted, you call whatever you want, but that defense is on par. That hand speed is on par. That accuracy is on par. You know what I mean? It's easy for me to do the triangle theory and say, what would this dude that done and that? But, let's have some fun with it. What would he had done in there with a Teofimo? What would he do in there with a Kambosos? What would he do in there with a Tank Davis? What would he do in there with a Devin Haney? Something to think about. Let that sit in the back of your head. Because whenever I see this guy fighting, and if the odds is looking right, I'll be at the casino, man. I'm gonna be at the casino. I'm gonna be putting cash on it. Ain't gonna be on no app. I ain't gonna be doing no app. I'm gonna be cash in hand. Look me face in the face when I make this bet, and look me face in the face when you hand me that money. I want that money. Give me that money, because when these dudes is out there doing shit like the way that you see this dude perform, he rising to the occasion, y'all. I'm telling you, man, Shakur's a sure bet. He's a sure bet, man. He's a sure bet. I mean, anybody could get clipped. I get it. But by the numbers, that's the only way you can really do it. So, yo, man, that's where I'm putting my cash. He's a sure bet for me. I don't see anybody giving this man I don't see anybody handing this man a loss. Maybe giving this man some trouble, but I don't see anyone handing this man a loss. Anybody. I don't see Tank beating this dude. I don't see Teofimo beating this dude. I don't see any of these guys beating this dude unless they just land that big shot that lands in the perfect spot. Then you got to finish him because his defense is on par. And we ain't really seen him hurt, so we don't know how he reacts, but he don't put himself in that position. So, hey, and he turns it up when he needs to. So, hey, man. Well, if Bob's trying to make that work, I'm not against that fight. I'm not against that fight at all. I'm not against that fight. But I would much rather see him fight Shakur and get mollywopped, especially after, trying to cheat the game and the fans and his opponents and everything else that has to do with boxing and all the meat shields that jumped in front of him. Said, Vada, why they come out and say something? They out here snitching. They don't want to see this dude. They out here wanting to clean sport and shit. Oh, and that goes for a couple of these dudes that are in boxing. It's like, well, everybody's doing it. That ain't no different than the drug dealer saying, well, if I ain't did it, somebody else would have. You know what I mean? The result is the same, man. You still fucking shit up, man. Take some accountability for fucking up the game. Little bit. Ryan is a weirdo. Yeah, I would agree. He is moving weird. And it's a shame, too. Same with Teofimo and Tank. Because he's a talented guy. He got the it factor. And he's throwing it away with moving the way that they move, man, when they get into this Mariah Carey status. You know what I'm saying? They get in this Mariah Carey status. That's what they are. Mariah Carey status. You know? This is what we're dealing with regularly. We hearing these promoters talking this bullshit. And it's just like, man, get these motherfuckers in the ring, man. Did y'all check out the video where Bub was in the ocean looking for the big fish? Oh, man. He can't do no more, y'all. What more can the dude do, man? They bring up Bud Crawford. This man just skirts. Bud Crawford get a win. He skirts out. He jumps out the pond. He jumped right out the tank. Big fish jumping out the tank. Like, well, what type of energy is this for boxing? You know, motherfuckers talking about getting rematches and Tank like, hell no. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that, yo? This shit is hilarious. This generation, man, is just, I don't know. It's different. It's funny, but I have to laugh to keep from crying. Crying Ryan Promotions. This just got me like Ryan Garcia in a depression. And laughing is the best medicine, y'all. So you gotta laugh that shit off. You gotta laugh it off, man. Oh man, what's going on, UGC Flame? Justin Trouble in the building. What's going on, man? Oh man. Link is in the chat. If someone wants to hop on, I could drop it again if y'all lost it due to all the convo in the chat. But y'all more than welcome to hop on. But yeah, so I don't know, man. 135 is heating up. 130. These guys can easily move up one division. These guys can easily move down from 140 to make some things happen. It's not that far fetched, you know. I don't know where Ryan Garcia's I don't know, his energy to fight Kambosos came out of fucking nowhere when he got Lomachenko's, Tank Davis's, Teofimo Lopez's that he never even mentioned this guy's name. I never heard him mention Teofimo giving credit, discrediting anything. I never heard him mention that dude when this dude was quote unquote undisputed. When this dude was a 3-belt champion. And that's the other thing. Tank Davis, they talking about even they're like his version of the title promotions. This dude at 135 with a belt that don't matter, and they just running around with that shit like, yeah. Is that any different than walking around with that type of status as a fighter and walking around with a franchise belt? Just a trinket and saying, yeah, I'm the champ. I'm the real champ. Like Superman used to do, Stevenson. I'm the champ. And not fighting nobody. I mean, he didn't fight anybody for 2 years. God rest. I mean, not God rest, but God bless him for getting over his injury. But yeah, man, that dude didn't want no Kovalev work. And I think we all talked about on the UGC. I didn't see Andre Ward trying to call Stevenson out at either, which was a little strange as well. But to each his own. He did do a lot, though. He did do a lot. And that's what I mean about Tank, too. Like, back at Tank, man, like, remember the Super Six? You remember the Super Six? Remember Butte? He wasn't involved in it, but he was a big name, and they thought that this dude was going to be, he was the guy. And then the number 2 guy left the Super Six, not even Andre Ward, and Froch went and cleaned that dude out. He beat the shit out of him, and he had all that hype behind him. He just got him the fuck up out of there. Like that's it right there, man. That's the recipe for disaster. You're not in there mixing it up with the top guys, and this is what's gonna happen, man. You're used to these light touches, and then you get in there with a guy that can take a shot, a guy that can punch back, a guy that ain't afraid to punch back. And all of a sudden you go in 12 in a tough ass fight and going, what the fuck happened? Or even worse, the guy walks out with all 3 of your titles and your fake undisputed title. And then that guy that was boasting you the whole time in Suleiman says, he's the number 1. He is the WBC champion. He's like, I'm the number 1 guy. I'm waiting. Did he call himself undisputed yet? I'm waiting. That's when he bought it, hook, line, and sinker. That's the recipe for disaster. The moment the man calls himself undisputed without getting that work, that's when it all falls down. He need to fight Haney, man. He need to fight Haney and clean it up. These guys need to make an example and actually make the game, get the game back to where it needs to be. You know? Where you at, Earl? Exactly. Where you at? It's big. Yes. Oh, yeah, I was dying too. He was like, this is a big ass motherfucker. He was like, I can't find him in this shit. He was feeling that ocean, man. The ocean is different. Houston Lakes ran up on Cole with a contract, and Cole wouldn't sign it. Yeah, see? There was multiple times Kovalev could have fought him and didn't. Oh, so you're saying Stevenson ran up on Kovalev. I'm sorry, but I'm a Stevenson would have sparked Cole. Yeah, that's also a possibility as well. That's also a possibility as well. But there were guys also that Stevenson was ducking, and that was who was it? Was it Alvarez? And then there was a couple other guys that was you never seen him in there also with the other Canadian, the dude who I always forget his name. Black is the one that always remembers his name. I always forget that motherfucker's name too. Oh fuck! What the fuck is his name? There was 2 guys that he ain't get in there with. 2 Canadians, both of them. And I forgot both their names. Ain't that about a bitch? Well, oh well. Age is a motherfucker. Shit happens. Shit happens promotions. But yeah, man. It is what it is. These guys be out here ducking. I also heard the comments that Roy Jones made, saying that he wouldn't want a legacy when asked which legacy would you want, Mayweather's or Pacquiao. And you know, him being the diva he is, he had something to say, and he said, I wouldn't do that. I fought these guys in their prime, blah, 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 which isn't true. Which isn't true because he didn't fight Hopkins in his prime. He fought Hopkins coming up, and then when Hopkins reached his prime, just be honest, he didn't want that smoke with Hopkins. There was a tournament, and Hopkins won that tournament. And Roy didn't want no smoke when Hopkins was on the top of his game. So, and taking nothing away from Roy's career and what he's done, and that he's not probably one of the most talented fighters that ever fought in the game, but he didn't want that smoke. I'm just saying, man, keep the same energy. So when he was talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao not fighting at the right time, when did they finally fight? You know what I'm saying? Like he caught him early when he was younger, but when his prime had hit, they weren't that far apart in age. And there was a tournament for a reason, and he agreed to the tournament. And then when Hopkins won the tournament, his whole energy changed. 60-40, I spanked that ass. And this was a guy who just defended his title multiple times. He said, oh, you just beat a Trinidad, and you only got one big name on your resume. Like, what the fuck does that matter? What does that matter? Isn't that the same energy that Spence got towards Bud Crawford? You just beat one guy. That guy was washed. He had to come up, or, he was washed. He'd been in too many fights. Or was you worried that this man might take your shine? This dude might whip your ass. This dude might, quote unquote, expose you. That's what I think it was, because that wasn't the same Hopkins that fought in the first fight as that would have been the same Hopkins that fought in a fight when they were both on top of their game. Hopkins didn't use feints and shit like that at that point in time. And Hopkins was on a fucking win streak that was crazy. So I don't buy into what the fuck he talking about either. It's bullshit. The two Canadians must be Lumber and Jack. Yeah. Well, Badu Jack. And thanks for bringing that up. And I'm trying to think of the other guy, the guy that Kovalev like really destroyed, but Bivol also beat him. He been in there with a whole bunch of people. He fought just about everybody. He fought Bernard Hopkins twice. But yeah, he never got in with one of those guys. And there's a reason, man. There's got to be some sort of reason. Maybe when they was in there training and with Stevenson, once Stewart passed, he was never quite the same fighter. You could see the downslide, but he did have that one hitter quitter. Jean Pascal, thank you very much. Jean Pascal, he didn't fight neither one of those guys. So I was just saying, just keeping it 100, y'all. Keeping it 100, and I'm pretty sure they sparred, and they kept it on the hush. But I gotta say, Stevenson, that dude could knock heavyweights out. I really truly believe that his punch, that left hand, was something different, because when that shit landed, man, it was like thunder, man. Them dudes went bad. You see what he did to Bad Chad? Holy shit! First round. That motherfucker was leaning. He got it. He got up and he was like, that motherfucker looked like he was drunk. That motherfucker had a lean, man. That motherfucker gave that motherfucker like 18 shots of Henny. Let him fucking took him in the time machine and then brought him out. Like, yeah, now you back in the fight. This motherfucker, where the fuck am I? Who got my keys? Oh man, yeah, it's Pascal Badu Jack from Finland or Norway. Yeah, but he's from Finland and Norway, but wasn't he residing in Canada? You know, kind of like Lennox Lewis. Where was he from? Who did he really represent? That motherfucker was all over the world, man. He was worldwide. No guy test. Well, that motherfucker could fight as well. So I give these guys props for the fact that they willing to square up, man. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate that, Pascal. Yeah, but yeah, that dude, man, that dude could punch. That dude could punch. if y'all do, which I hope y'all don't ever get this little pandemic shit, um, there are some things that can be helpful, and that would be eating chocolate, like real chocolate, not milk chocolate. Stay away from dairy products. Probably stay away from dairy products anyway. But green teas and grapes, grapes are good too. And try to maintain your appetite to the best of your ability. That's what helped me through it. I think I went through it tough for probably about a day or two, and then I just kept eating and kept like it. I didn't allow it to slow me down. Rest when you have to, but that first day that hit me, man, I got up. I got up out of. I think I was sleeping on my couch, which is fucking super comfortable. I got up off my couch and man, I stood up and it felt like I was like, whoa, everything started spinning. I was like, the fuck is this? It was like right after a couple days after Thanksgiving. And it was different. It was different, man. And I also think it fucks with your DNA. It really fucked me up. Like I never had a dry patch on my in my entire life at my age. And I had dry patches on my skin. I was like, what the fuck? Like that shit really can fuck with you. So just maintain and stay in high spirits. I think all that shit, mentality and mind over matter really does help. You know what I mean? What's going on, Black? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you
What's
feel?
going on? Oh, I feel fantastic, bro. To be honest with you, I get. You know what sucks though? My main fear was my wife and my kids. You know what I mean? How it was gonna affect them, but they seem to be doing fantastic soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So, but what really fucked me up too, on top of that, was I was working out and I was in a good place physically, and then I'm like, damn, I was like, uh I was in the building muscle stage, and so that kind of really put me back. You know what I mean? That set me back. So I got to get back in shape all over again. This fucking kind of fucking sucks.
Muscle
Other
memory
than that,
though, you'll get it back.
yeah. Muscle memory. There you go, man. So what you think, man? What you think about that tank fight? Was you entertained?
I had to give myself the flame shame because I underestimated Cruz and didn't do no film study and shit.
Well, man, this shit happens. This shit happens. And for as much as they was hyping the shit, you know what I mean? And then you had a lot of people hyping the whole shit. And I mean, but with the end result of it, though, what do you think about the 135 division now?
You mean with the oh, you mean Tank winning, Devin Haney winning.
Yep.
We got Kambosos at the top right now, and then of course we got the hot fighters like Lomachenko still in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's very very hot, man, and I think it's more of like weeding out the I won't say the bad seeds, but the little champ shit to make way for all the big champ shit going forward. You
Yeah,
know,
and through everything that's been done, you got to say, man, out of the guys at 135, Lomachenko looking like the guy again.
he really like a dark horse too. Like
Yeah.
people probably sleeping on him, and like he one of them guys that when he lose, you can't just be like, oh, okay, he washed. You can't do that with Loma. I
Nah,
don't think.
you're right. I mean, but if you take these guys, a Tiafimo, a it and with the mindset, it's fucking this easy work for Lomachenko. You know, Tank Davis, I really think easy work, bro. Uh, like how they're talking, uh, even a Ryan Garcia, if he don't land it, easy work, man. Uh, I can't think of one. Devin Haney, I don't know, man. He's a good
Yeah,
boxer, but I don't know if he's ready for that Lomachenko shit.
not at
Uh,
30. Yeah, 35, man. Like I hear you. I agree with you
but
100%.
shout
Like
out to his energy because he won't mind it. He'd probably jump in there as to the other guys showing, not even mentioning Lomachenko. Like I think Haney
that's
probably
true.
wouldn't duck it, but I don't know what the results would be. But shout out to him because I think that he would get in there with him. And do you think Cambosos even competes with Lomachenko?
I was thinking about that when you was talking. I'm like, I think he beats Kambosos fairly easy too.
I think the dark horse ain't even at 135. I think the dark horse
Stevenson, huh?
saves it. Yeah, I think he come in
And
there, and I think he got a chance at any of them, including Lomachenko.
and you was talking about people that wasn't ain't really calling out Loma name. He is though. He
Yeah,
like, yeah, I welcome that fight.
there you go, there you go. So, and then yeah, then you got look, come on, man, you got Diaz. Fuck is fuck. Who's he trying to fight? Nobody, or not Jojo Diaz. You know, Oscar Tees,
Oh,
Valdez,
oh, damn.
Valdez. Man, that dude.
Right,
But I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
Neverete, he might be walking into some shit, and I hope Neverete puts that Vada on his ass.
Oh, what would you mean? They about to
Well, I
fight?
guess Bob talking about making that fight happen, which ain't a bad fight. It's a great
Hell
fight.
no, that's not a bad fight. That's not a bad fight.
That's a great fight. I'm just saying, but you're not moving right though. Like why? You know, I mean, I guess it's a big
You,
money fight. It's an exciting fight, but what you doing with like, yeah, I don't know. Like you got, I don't know, I don't know. Well, maybe the winner. I just see, I
hey,
see Stevenson having to move up.
what about the Asian guy that just beat my guy that I thought was gonna win what's my guy shit African
Another
guy
another Nakatani.
Fuzili, Zinga Fuzili. Remember he
Yeah,
beat Fuzili?
yeah, had him looking a little fugazi.
Fugazi in there, so he got the strap too. So he might be in the equation to. I think he'll give Oscar Valdez some problems too.
Yeah,
That's
maybe,
unification, bro.
maybe it's possible because Valdez, when he do look stellar, he kind of got that Tio style, and Nakatani made it extremely hard for Tio, and he had that
Hmm.
same dude long,
Hmm.
and he just keeps coming. But I do think he's a little sharper than Nakatani too.
And he can take a punch. It look like
Yep. Well, Nakatani can too. He just took too many from Lomachenko.
levels, man. Levels.
Yeah, I called that shit too. I was like, he going. I said
Yeah.
the style matchup is all the way bad for this dude.
Who should he come back and fight?
Who?
Nakatani.
Ah, man, I hope that man's all right. That motherfucker
Yeah.
be needing health over wealth. Make sure get the proper scans and shit. Make sure your shit is 110% because the way you was getting hit, man. I don't like one-sided ass whoopings that are that bad and they prolong 2-3 rounds too long. I think it takes years off them motherfuckers' careers and probably their life as well.
Hey, maybe that's why Oscar is avoiding that Shakur unification.
I don't know. I think there's just an ass whooping sitting, waiting for him.
He could take years off you with that kind of ass whooping, man.
I don't know if it'll take. I think it'll take years off his. That I think it'll take years off of his conceitedness.
Oh yeah, it's knock his
Yeah, I
ego
think.
a couple
Yeah,
levels
it'll
down.
be ego. Even though he seems like a nice guy, but yeah, if you read in between the lines, I don't know why I took it. I didn't take anything. It was. I think it was a tea. Like, what are you talking about? Like, excuse after excuse. And how you feel about these excuses? What do you think the excuse going to be about the Tank Davis fight? Like the excuses that we heard from the Tiafimo fight. Oh, I didn't know he had those ailments. I didn't know
What
he had
what,
them.
what is what excuse from the tank fight you talking
I
about?
don't know. What do you think? You think they're going to be some excuses? I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I think they in the pot right now.
You
They
talking
gonna
about with the recent fight with
yeah,
Cruz?
the recent fight. Yep.
I heard some people saying that they had Cruz winning.
Well,
I heard some people
I
say they
wouldn't
had
go that
7-5
far.
Cruz. Yeah, a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
be
people
I'm gonna be 100. I feel like Tank won the fight, but not by much, and it was a close fight. Even though I felt like the scorecard, you could have been like, yo, like Tank. It was like a 7-5. You know what I mean? 8-4 type fight, but the war itself was closer than the cards indicate. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like dude was never in danger whatsoever of getting stopped. I didn't see that at all. Even when
Mm-mm.
he was getting off, it was like, and he looked good doing it too. But
No, he looked
can
good,
can his
man.
hands take it? They both look good. They both look good. Then they said the stars are born, and I'm like, well, is a star born, or is it the level of Isaac Cruz competition too? Like as in Tank, low blow to Tank on the real. Like, is Tank really that good?
I think for that particular fight, and I could be wrong, but I think for that particular fight, it was the style. The
Yeah,
style makes fights, and the guy was shorter than him. He was coming in with the high guard, and he was blocking the uppercut too. And Javante was definitely looking for that as a money punch, and
could
it
be.
wasn't there.
I,
And the dude, I got to give Cruz credit. I just think that you could take a hit at Tank in certain things in the fight. Although I feel he edged it 7-5, but then you can also
yeah,
look at the good things Cruz was doing to make it a tough fight. And I don't think it's a bad comparison when they say the Floyd and Maidana, um, because that was kind of a fight where Floyd was forced to box and be smart on the outside because he had a rugged dude that was coming with a lot of pressure, and he wasn't being dirty or nothing. He was just actually just fighting,
yeah.
man. He was getting in position on Tank, cutting the
I didn't
ring
say,
off.
yeah, I didn't think he fought dirty at all. In consideration to his last fight, he fought very dirty, but he probably was told, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean, in
Fed.
the back, like, look, man, ain't gonna be none of that bullshit here. You know,
Floyd told him, like I said before, we're not
yeah.
doing that.
Like I said before, we
We're not
gonna be
doing that.
fair. We gonna
Mhm.
be. We are the A side. We are the A
We
side,
are
but
the A
we gonna be
side.
fair. We gonna be fair. Ain't gonna be
Yeah.
no cheating shit. You're gonna have to
We're gonna
beat
try.
me the hard way. You're gonna have to beat Tank the hard way if you're gonna
Let's
beat
look
him.
here.
I felt like it was a good fight. I thought it was a decent fight, but it also, um, like I think all the intangibles that are there for Tank, but I don't think he can keep them all together. You know what I'm saying? I think
What you mean?
like he got decent. He got good power. He got good speed. He got good reflexes. He got good skills, but he don't put them all together. He uses them here and there and there. He turns it on and off when he feels like it. And
Okay.
he on the shelf too long with competition. So I feel like that's just a recipe for disaster.
Mm,
While you thinking you keeping your guy fresh, you actually making him rusty. You know what I'm saying? You think you keeping him fresh, but you really not. And it's to me at the age, I think he's, what is he, 27, 28 now? For as long as he been in the game, he's older than all these guys. He been in the game longer than all these other guys. Yet all these other guys are in the same conversation with him because of the competition that he's facing. I think Devin Haney's done more in the last 2 years than this dude's done possibly in his entire career. And that
mm,
goes for Tiafimo as well. Like like when it comes to competition, I feel like this dude hasn't been in there with the top notch competition, and I feel like it's gonna be bad for him when he gets in there with one of the top guys, and his power ain't carrying over like you would think it would be at 135 when he punching this guy. Not taking nothing away from that's what I said too. I said, when have you ever seen this guy hurt?
mm.
You know what I mean? I think we had that conversation. We were talking about. I'm like, when this dude ever been hurt though? When who has he knocked out at 135? Well, you know, and then you got guys bringing up Barrios at 140, and I'm like, where he was fighting prior, like,
Mm.
and they talk about skill sets, but can you put it all together? Like Floyd could put all that shit together. You know, he had the skill set. He knew when to use it. He knew how to use it. He knew when to take a break. He always would take, like, he had it all together. Like you got to mix it all the right way. You can't just turn this on and off and turn this on and off, because then what you have is you see a fighter just fall apart. Seeing Tiafimo just fall apart, couldn't keep it together, buying into this bullshit, buying into that bullshit. I think it's the same thing with Tank, but just on different levels and dealing with different shit. I think it's the same, like, it's the same line of bullshit though. It's like this dude, no, I'll never fight him again. Like, is that any different than what
Right.
what Tio
What Tio
said
said,
after the
what
Nakatani fight? I'll never
that's a
fight a
fact,
tall guy.
bro. That's a good comparison right there. Yep.
Yes. So I mean, I'm looking at it as a whole all the time. So I'm like, well, what are we really looking at? Is this dude really
So there
what
you
they
go.
cut him out to be? You know what I mean?
So there's definitely a takeaway right there. Like that's for sure flame right there. Because to say that you wouldn't want to rematch, like I'm like I was saying while you was talking, I was sitting there thinking like, man, I was about to ask you, like, do you think he deserved a rematch, Isaac Cruz? Because I think he do. Like I think it was a tough enough fight to where like you mentioned Floyd. Floyd didn't like them close ass fights. He running back.
Yeah,
So why
yeah.
Floyd not keeping the same energy with Tank? Like, look, we gotta leave no doubts out here, man. Like I said before, I'm a better
Well,
fighter.
not. I think it's a question of creating a monster and then dealing with the monster afterwards because he buying into everything that Floyd telling him, the bullshit too. You know, the good things and the bullshit. And then Floyd probably looking at him like, "Yo, why ain't you gonna jump in with this dude?" And he's like, "We don't need this dude. This dude's a nobody. A star is born. He fought me." You know what I mean? It's like, so now
Mm,
this is a product of the monster that you created, Floyd. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
now he moving, or maybe Floyd doing that shit so that he don't ever reach that pinnacle. I don't know. Like,
That's
but I
crazy,
don't
bro.
buy into a lot of shit that Floyd say, and I, I don't listen to anything that Ellerby say. You know what I mean? Even when he make good points, I ain't listening because I know he gonna turn it around in like 2 seconds and say some bullshit. Like, and I just feel like it's another hype train. It's another hype train. Because you can say what you want about Tiafimo, but Tiafimo been in there with Lomachenko, Nakatani, and Coleman. Tank ain't really fought anybody to that level.
And he been champion before all of them.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
What's going on, Cole?
Y'all ducking my smoke, man. What up? Good afternoon, everybody. You know what
What's
I'm
up?
saying? Y'all ducking the bushel of cherries over here, man.
So what
What
what did
you?
you think about the fight?
What about the fight, man? It was a tough fight. Tank Davis got punched up, you know, on his bike, and it was a good thing. I didn't really watch like an entire fight, whatever, because I don't support nothing that Mayweather does. So from what I saw, Tank was on his bike. Dude was kind of walking him down. And Tank didn't like that shit. All that Tank shit and all this blase, the cash cow of 135, they say, but dude only made $300,000. Okay.
Damn.
It's crazy, right? They call these dudes a cash cow, but when people fight people like Anthony Joshua, they get life-changing money. When they fight Canelo, life-changing money. When they fight Tank, after taxes, them dudes still gotta go pay the car note.
They'd be like, damn, I need another fight ASAP.
Exactly. But that's a cash cow, right? Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, that's a trip, man.
Yeah, that's a narrative. They need Tank. They need Tank.
To do
Hey,
what?
so
Right. To
did
do
you?
$140 pay-per-view.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Because what is it going if they only getting paid 300 grand to fight him in a pay-per-view, imagine if it's a side guy, a
Hey,
big name. How are they gonna what's the price gonna be? And who's gonna be the cash cow in that fight? Really,
well,
like how you calling yourself the cash cow if you got the cash but you ain't giving none?
but that's the
Mm-mm.
Mayweather model, right? Because that's what Floyd used to do to other fighters. Like he would take the like 90% and give dudes like $1 million or some dumb shit. It's just
One
fuck out of
point
Oh
here.
no,
two.
Maidana came out pretty good. That motherfucker came out pretty good,
Did
and
he
he
make
got
like two?
and he got an extra 1.5 to not wear them gloves too.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, Garcia slipped up and said that when he was going in on Smellerby. You know what I mean?
Peters, get dirty.
That motherfucker, yeah, that motherfucker was like, I smell something else, man. You're sweating. He was like, you just not gonna fight them gloves. I was like, no, but you know what? To be honest with you, I wouldn't let my fighter fight somebody with them gloves either. In
What kind of gloves
Ellaby's
were they?
defense, I would have been like, hell no, you ain't fighting in these gloves.
What
Fuck
was the
out of
issue
here.
with the gloves?
The fucking distributing of the padding. There was none in the knuckle.
Ooh,
Y'all didn't see that, my Donna shit?
Yeah,
Oh,
hell yeah, I'm saying that.
Yeah, them shits was broken in. I
Smell,
was like,
Smelly
oh,
was like, he was like, look, it's no pad. It's no padding in here.
He's like,
His
tell him to
knuckles is,
learn.
is going through the.
Robert Garcia was pulling out every trick in the book. Then you fight him in. Then have Floyd wear the same
Yeah,
gloves.
yeah. He
It's like,
said,
hell
Floyd, you can
no.
wear the same gloves, Floyd. You're like, what? Damn,
Like, get the fuck out of here.
damn, you dirty. Get
Yeah,
dirty
I
in
gotta
there.
that. I was with Ellaby all the way, man. I like a fair sport, so I'm not just going in on guys. But when he be talking about Tank and the shit he be talking about, I'm like, oh man, like you're doing too much. You're doing too much. It's ridiculously redundant as well. I'm just like, I don't really want to hear this shit. Talking about how you can be smacking motherfuckers around and shit. Like, you do realize that fucking dude is. I met
Hell, hey,
I
hell no,
met
he
that
not smacking
motherfucker.
Eddie.
Yo, Eddie Hearn is a big motherfucker. I mean, I'm not saying the dude could scrap or anything of that nature, but that is a massive motherfucker. I was like, holy shit, that dude's big as fuck. I was standing next to him like, damn, this dude, big motherfucker, man. But I wasn't intimidated.
And he better not lose his balance. I remember when Shane Mosley and Floyd got into it in the face-to-face or whatever, the press conference, he tried to run over there and he slipped, fell on his ass. Did y'all remember that shit?
No,
And then Ellie was running full speed, trying to break up the little scuffle and shit, and he slipped and fell on his ass. I'm like, get your fat ass up.
yeah, Mayweather can do no wrong in that man's eyes. When I think of Smellerby, man, all I think of is that fucking video where he rubbed up on Floyd and shit. I was like, that shit was hilarious, man.
Yeah,
That shit's hilarious. I still got that fucking video too. I never dropped it.
Oh wow.
I still got that suspect moments. I was like, yo, that shit was
Suspect moments in sports.
suspect. Yeah, that shit was too much, man. I was like, you know what? I can't, man. I feel dirty. I can't drop this shit. I was like, just sitting there, man. I ain't never deleted because I put a lot of work into it. But I'm like, yeah, were you stuck? And you're like, man, I don't know. And I could be indecisive sometimes, man. So yeah, I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, that shit was funny as fuck, man. So this dude can do no wrong in his eyes because he got a job doing. I don't know what the fuck he does. What the fuck does he do?
He the CEO, man.
He's just like a hype man, or
hey, Aaron Cole put the video up the other day, but Roger Mayweather said, well, what do he do? He said, what is that? What is the CEO? What is that? I was like, damn, he was flaming shit out of LB.
Who is his uncle? Roger?
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, man. I like Roger though, man.
Yeah, Roger was like, I don't know what the fuck this dude does. I mean, Floyd don't need him. What the fuck is a CEO? A CEO of what? What are you talking about? What the fuck does he do? Like,
what do they do?
Yo, Roger was a man of few words, but he always had some good shit to say. I always listen. Unlike Floyd Sr., that motherfucker, he got too much to say and can't say shit. Like, listen. I'm like, oh man, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Roger. I mean, don't do it. Don't do it, Floyd Sr. Don't do it.
Hey, the way Roger set up the flame, the way Roger set up the flame with LB, though, it had me dying laughing. Cause the dude said, what does it mean? And he was like, I don't know, really. He's like, well, if you can't tell what it means, then he don't mean shit. I guess it don't mean shit then.
Oh man, break it down for me. How he getting paid? What you paying him to do? He the CEO. All right, but what he do? I don't know. Like that was the answer right there, man. This dude just you know what he is? He's a meat shield. That's what he is. He a meat shield, so the guys don't have to talk and they can just throw this dude out there to take all the flame.
I'm not gonna let you though. This like last few weeks, TMT been looking real bad. Like, I mean, LLB out here arguing. Like, if you check like LLB's Twitter, this dude is arguing with he's arguing with Dan Raphael, random fans, just arguing over dumb shit. He keeps bringing up Eddie Hearn, like he keeps, I'm not this guy's. I'm like, I'm not gonna address this guy no more than readdress him some other time. And it's like, why you keep talking about Eddie Hearn and you have Floyd who keeps talking about Canelo? You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. I mean, the sky is blue, but what about Canelo though? And it's like, these two guys have just been like, they talk more about Eddie Hearn and Canelo more than Tank and the fight. And it was so disappointing. Like, even after the fight, Floyd is at the press conference and he's talking about Canelo.
Yeah, and himself.
And then LB, I slapped the shit out of Hearn. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, TMT, like, which fighter in their right mind would ever sign for this TMT shell company of PBC?
Yeah, and I guess they're trying to sign Bud.
Oh,
You think that's gonna happen?
You know, it might fuck around and get him the Spence fight though.
It might, huh?
Yeah, because
For like a 1 or 2 fight deal.
I remember a Floyd interview where he said that fight ain't gonna happen no time soon. The Spence fight, he not gonna.
But
he
that was
also
before
said
all
that
this other shit started happening, like with Pacquiao and the injury and car accident. Hey,
he also said Bud's the number one guy.
mhm.
Well, that's what he said. Spence not gonna be fighting that dude.
You know, Spence, he's a hell of a fighter.
Cause he know who number one is.
Bud's the number one guy. He wants him to come sign with him. He could sign with TMT. He could be the cash cow.
He's a hell of a fighter.
Oh man.
Hey, what would that? That'd be some shit. What would that do for
It
PBC?
might be the only way that he gets to fight. Like, not even sound, even though Al and Floyd is together, like that would be you on the same side of the street, and then you got Smellerby and Floyd vouching for you. Could you imagine the shit that like they overhype guys that with no credentials? Imagine what they'll do for Bud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just saying, man.
I did a
wanna
video
see the
one
fights
time,
happen.
man. I did a video one time, so I think like a couple weeks back, like asking a question, like if Bud Crawford does sign with PBC, you know, like with the PBC fanatics start treating him better, or they still be like, no, we Errol Spence and Wilder and all these, you still an outsider. Like, will they
Well,
embrace him?
where else will he go? Eddie don't want him. Eddie said it.
What?
Yeah,
Crawford?
Eddie. He said what if Bob can't get that Earl Spence fight, what makes you think I can? And he's not worth it. That's what he said. He said he's not worth what he puts out. He's a great fighter. He said, but I can't do nothing. He said, I'm already paying with Andre, overpaying with Andre.
Like,
Because
get the hell out
we
of here. But
believe
he'll
in Andre.
overpay for some Spain event or some dumb shit. Get out of
Yeah, I
here.
don't know, man.
Eddie Hearn.
One of them Spain events probably don't cost as much as Terrence Crawford's guaranteed.
Oh, low budget ass shit. Okay.
Yeah, so remember the
100,000.
Spain cards are like, those aren't expensive cards to put on. You know what I mean? They're building the Spanish boxing. Terrence Crawford gets like what, $4 million a fight or some shit?
So are you telling me Eddie Hearn can't afford Bud Crawford?
No, well,
but hold on. He can afford to pay Mikey $7 million to
He
face
said
Jesse.
in
though.
the interview he has money for him, but he don't have no fights for him. Like, who is he gonna fight with Eddie Hearn? Who?
But if he put up money, right? Money talks. So
Nah,
say
not
Eddie
really.
is
Not really. You I mean, he's put up what, $7 million for Charlie. He's put up $150 million for
I'm
Wilder.
talking about Errol though, for Errol Spence. For the Errol Spence fight though.
You think
Earl
they're gonna
Spence
give
been dunking for
Errol
4
Spence?
years. He's been dunking for 4 years. Even if you throw money at that dude, you got, man, come on, man.
Money ain't the
But-
issue. Money ain't the issue. Money. He's been offered money. He don't want to fight Terrence Crawford, and that's the truth. Money. It's like Eddie said. I have money, but I can't get him the fight that he's going to want. Like, I don't have any welterweights for him. I don't have any welterweights.
So not Top Rank, not Matchroom DAZN, PBC ? That's it. What else options out there for Bud
Free
Crawford? Eddie Hearn
agency.
don't want to get
Well,
involved with a
Well, he
One
can be
fight
a free
deals.
agent, right?
Hall of Famer.
One fight
Huh?
deals. One fight deals. That's the other option he got. So he basically in
So,
the same.
but
shit
Eddie's not
he got.
interested. Eddie is not interested in doing no type of fights, not even a one
That's
fight
what
deal.
I.
with Bud.
That's what I took from it though.
Yeah, but who's he gonna fight with Eddie?
He
Who?
can fight Conor Ben or somebody, anybody.
You
up
think
there.
Eddie
But
Hearn
this
gonna
one-
put his young up and coming dude in there to get cleaned out by Terrence Crawford? What the fuck? You
Well,
think?
they also are.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris Algieri, man, they don't like him anyway. Put him in there with Chris.
No.
Fuck it. I'm just saying. It's just crazy. I feel like it's just a disrespect to the great walking Hall of Famer Bud Crawford, man. That these dudes don't want to get involved. Like everybody should. He should be like the #1 draft pick. He a free agent. Everybody should be trying to chase him.
Yeah, if it
That's
was a
how I feel.
perfect if it was a perfect world where people weren't like hiding fighters from other fighters, where Eddie knows like if I get Bud, I can work something with PBC and they'll fight.
right.
Eddie knows like if I get Bud, then PBC was gonna oh you're on the wrong side of the street, so he's gonna have to find fights for Bud,
You know
and
what
he's
it
gonna have
is,
to.
but you know what it is though, Con. I'm just gonna be real with you. Spence don't want to fight, man.
Nah, I don't think
It ain't got nothing to do with.
It
I
ain't
don't think it
money.
has.
It ain't no money.
Spence don't want to fight,
There
man.
is money though. He'll take a fight with. Man, it ain't, what other big money fight out there for Errol Spence right now?
They'll find
Lot
something.
that's realistic.
I'll tell you what, if they wait too damn long and they marinate too long, one of these young boys gonna whip one of their asses, and then the
Exactly.
big money
That's
fight
why
gonna
you
go
gotta
out the
strike.
fucking window.
That's why you gotta strike while it's hot.
Then they can move on up. Either one of them can jump up to 154 if they like, or just pick and choose their fights after they get that undisputed work, and then just move on and do whatever the fuck they want from that point on. You know what I mean? Go off into the sunset. Who knows? But I mean, don't wait, because if you wait, you might wait too late and get slept in the process, or get your fucking belts snatched up, and or get fucking exposed when people are gonna pay top dollar to watch that fight today.
Man,
Everybody, even the Bud haters and the Spence haters.
that's the fight, man. That is the fight right now. There's no other big paydays out there for Errol. I don't know what Errol looking for. He gonna wait for Ugas to get out of his tournament? What?
Real talk. You know what? I'm gonna be 110%. That fight, for me, I pay $150 for that fight. I'll pay $150 to make that fight happen. You know what I mean? I would. That's worth it to me. Just to get that fight. Like, to me, that was a bigger fight than Tyson Fury and AJ. Even though that's the big heavyweight thing and everybody into that, I think these are two proven fighters that, you know what I mean? That question got to be answered for me as a fight fan. I paid top dollar for that fight. So the money's there to make that fight, I think. But whether or not whether or not Spence willing to get in there with him, and you know what? It's not even going to be that much money, because you ain't going to have to pay these guys that much. You talking, even if you split it 10 million down for both of them, that's still more than they both ever made. That's $20 million to make that fight. You get your venue, and then you pump that, you promote the shit out of it. Oh shit, man, you gonna get your money back. I feel like you're gonna make your money back, man.
I'm gonna say this, man.
I'm gonna promote that shit.
Yeah, we all promote that. If Errol don't take this fight with Bud Crawford, man, his legacy is over with, man. You can forget about it, bro. And that's just me as a boxing fan, as a fight fan. Like, bro, you gotta fight Bud Crawford. This man, his path was everything he's done at welterweight proved that, look, he done with everything he needed to do to deserve a fight with you. He done everything, man. And,
Did he ever call out Bud? Ever?
Man, this is a joke, bro.
Call out undisputed, but never call out, yo, I want that strap season. What was that? And then when you screaming strap season, why you doing it? Why are you ducking? Strap season.
He's screaming straps, Bud screaming names. Like, I want all of these guys. I want Keith, I want Sean, I want Bud, I want Errol, I want Ugas, all these. Yeah, he calling these names. But the big dark horse.
They waiting for him to soften up. I think they waiting for him to soften up, man. They want him in there with all the young guys.
I'll take an AB versus Bud fight.
I would too.
Nah, you trolling.
What?
I would watch that.
You just told me you want Conor Ben to fight Bud. Now, not AB, not AB. What the fuck?
Damn.
I pay to watch Bud dismantle any big name, any name fighter. You know what I mean? It's in the welterweight division. You know what I mean? Anybody but Mikey. Mikey talking about fighting at who he talking about fighting? He said, "Oh, I'll come and fight one of those guys." Who
Mikey
the
don't
hell
care
was he
about
talking
fighting
about?
no more.
Man,
Yeah.
Mikey,
Why
need
he
to
got
fucking
Blaze?
retire, man.
He did. He did.
Mikey,
care.
you see, that's what I always say. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there watching you. Like people like Sandor Martin, these dudes just been waiting for just any shot. Just
Yo, man, that dude from Spain spanked him.
Mm-hmm. So he stopped taking it serious, and you know what? That's another thing we learned too, especially this year.
and he fought Mikey at like 145 or some shit. He just said, just give me a chance, one chance, any chance. These dudes just waiting on you, and people like Mikey, who out here just on the easy road getting $7 million for Jesse Vargas, easy road Mikey, easy money Mikey. When you run into somebody like Sandor Martin, who's been working and working and working, who just want any chance in the world, these dudes might get you, man. They might get you because they've been watching you for a long time. So
Yep.
I don't. Mikey need to either he gonna get like even Robert Garcia said before the Sandor Martin fight, like he don't know exactly what Mikey's on. He don't know if Mikey's, if he's coming or going. Sometimes he's serious, sometimes he's not. This ain't a sport for that, man.
Yeah, how y'all feel about this? Dylan White finally gets his shot at that WBC title.
I don't believe it until it happened, bro. I don't believe it until it happened. That sounds good, but we've seen it before with Dylan White, man. I don't believe it yet. We'll see when it get to like they in training camp and we get like to the last maybe couple weeks, maybe the last week I'll start believing. Last week before the fight. So
Yeah, man.
nah,
I think
I
this,
don't believe
and you know what's sad is back to the Spence Bud thing. Y'all better hurry up, man, because that expiration date is coming up. That shit's about to spoil, about to get spoiled, man. And over marinating meat in the fridge makes your fridge stink. So, you know what I mean?
Stanky icebox promotion.
Starting to stink, man. I mean, you got this man going out to the ocean looking for Earl. Like, what else can he do, man?
The big fish.
He said, "Where your hoe ass is at?" He said, "Where your ass at? With your hoe ass?" Call that nigga Earl hoe.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he gotta fight him, bro. Earl gotta fight Crawford. If he don't fight Crawford, your legacy, I don't want to hear what nobody talk about Earl. Strap season, man. But hey, kill that madness, man. Kill that madness, bro. He representing Texas. He representing all this rappers, hip hop, Yellow Beezy. Hey, bro, you better fight this man.
Have you ever seen a fighter avoid a name so bad that when you bring it up in an interview, he bounces?
That nigga fucking he left exit.
You got your trainer telling you, don't mention Bud, he's here. Man, why wouldn't I take the easier road? Like the flame to this dude, man, and it doesn't make sense, man.
Do you know when it's all said and done? Like, let's say if he don't fight Crawford, when it's all said and done, his legacy will be defined by memes of him ducking Crawford, all the moments, the interviews, the face-to-face when he had the red hoodie, the immediately getting up when Crawford stopped Porter. It's gonna be an archive of your motherfucking ducking legacy, fam.
Yo,
that's what I'm about to tell you.
Someone you know what? You're right, because anybody he talked to gonna be waiting with some fucking hot sauce. Like, say it, just say something, anything, so I can put some hot sauce on this duck and eat this shit, because it's coming, man. Say it, like, because Bud, he been ducking Bud for go get a title. Like, we've been through it, man, and that's why I'm like, I'm tired of cooking this shit, man. It's overcooked. It's like, man, get in there, man, and scrap with the dude, man. You ain't got no other big fight, man. He gone. Who else is there? You ain't gonna fight Boots. You ain't gonna fight. I don't even think you're gonna fight Ortiz. And that would be a huge fight in Texas.
Yes, it would. Yeah, right in all local.
And we don't want to see you fight those guys, though. We want to see you fight Bud, then fight those guys. Fight you later on. And that goes for Bud as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see him in there mixing it up with these younger guys just yet. They got like another year, 2 years. Well, actually, some guys got 4 years. 48 months promotions. Whatever the fuck.
Hey,
I
but the
don't even
difference
think
is,
that I don't even think Ortiz would even gonna be in the welterweight division in 4 years. That's a big dude.
hey, what I like about Crawford is, and the difference between him and Spence is, Crawford is going after the fights that the fans want him to fight. You know what I mean? Like we want to see Crawford fight Spence. We wanted to see him fight Porter. We want to see him fight Keith. Like those are matchups we want to see Crawford in. You know what I mean? Spence is not going after that. We want to see him fight Crawford. He want to go after somebody else. He got some other shit to do. He got some other obligations, construction on the side of the street or some shit. Like when
But the
that's done,
fighters
man.
doing that. The fighters doing that in every weight division. Like they don't like being told what to do. I'm not gonna do it. You can't tell me what to do. It's like,
Right.
dude,
But
fucking titles is there.
but don't this kind of make when you look at Crawford kind of make him a people's champ, right?
Yeah, it should.
Because
It
he
should.
fighting for the people. Like there's not a lot of people's champ in this era. Like it's just people kind of fighting for their own career. Like Tank, I don't consider him a people's champ.
So
You know,
here's the thing too. Here he is as a people's champ and no push. No
no
push.
push.
No
push,
push.
man.
You got dudes saying, well, nah, man, Spence the guy. And it's like, why? Why? I was a
What is
Spence
it?
fan up until that motherfucker was ducking that bud smoke. Then I was like, yo, his energy changed, my energy changed.
Same energy what we had with Keith. We was Keith
Yeah.
fans. He started
Yeah.
ducking that Spence smoke.
Yeah. Probably
mean-
the most dynamic of all of them at one point in his career. And
the
then
time,
he just, that motherfucker got dusty. You know what I'm saying? Just living off that past shine.
So is
See,
Keith retired now?
I don't know what that man is.
And Keith what?
If he's retired,
I don't know, bro.
He retired that ponytail, man.
nah,
He did.
that ponytail retired to him.
That shit going back, I think. That's probably why he came back yet. He like, you know what? I can't even really hit the same amount of weights I used to do. I got to grow this shit back. So I'll come back to the ring.
Without a ponytail, he just another light skinned dude.
Oh man, say
You gotta
some
grow the
Sam
shit
Smith
back.
shit.
He ain't gonna come back until the hair come back.
I tell you, his energy changed as soon as he hooked up with Shorty.
Mhm.
It all
Yeah.
changed.
Took
Everything
his ass
changed.
to
Went
Nepal.
from "Don't duck me, son" to $10 million. Give me 10 million.
Clown.
Yeah, man. And I liked watching him, man. He was a fun fighter to watch.
Mhm.
Even in
He
his
was.
loss to Manny, everyone saying, well, Manny washed him. I'm like, that was not a wash, bro. That
Keith
was
was
a
the
good
people's
fight.
champ. Keith used to be a people's champ. I remember that. He was one of them ones.
And I tell you what, man, he had the momentum on his side. And
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
divaism at its finest. But I don't think anyone did it like Tio. That motherfucker. Whew,
Wow,
what a
bro.
waste. What a waste. He flushed his career down the toilet.
That was a complete, I mean, golly. I don't want to say career suicide, but it was too much too early, bro, from him. The reaction of that victory with Loma is just like, calm down.
Yeah, too
Like,
young-minded. Too young-minded.
too
Man.
young,
Too
and
much.
his dad act younger than him. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
y'all need to calm down, bro. Like, ease up, bro. Y'all ain't done everything
We're
yet.
gonna knock him out in one round, Joe.
Yeah, but
Come on, bro.
you see, Fimo is like some of these other dudes who also allowed these YouTube ass kissers to gas them up and make bad
Yeah.
decisions, right?
Mhm.
Teofimo, Spence, Wilder, let these YouTubers gas them up
Yep.
and make them make ridiculous career decisions just to get YouTuber love, right? Teofimo had these dudes out here, undisputed. Yeah, man, you ain't gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you beat this one guy and you know you forever the greatest, man.
You the
Yeah.
champ of the world.
Yeah.
Everybody bow to you. They gotta worship you. On that type shit.
I was hyping him up until he got there. Then when he got there, I was like, ugh. Here
Well,
we
that's the
go.
thing that we learn by watching this shit. Like, you know, we love them on the way up, and then when they get there, man, a lot of them that you know all the support and the energy that they had getting there, that should change up. The hunger. A lot of times, I wanted to bring it up. The hunger this year, we learning. If you ain't got the hunger, boy, somebody else will come in there with that hunger, like a Cambosis, and try to take everything that you got, take it away from you, just like that. But yeah, man, this freaking year alone, man, we learning a whole lot
Hey
about these
Martin,
fighters, man.
can you save it? Can you save Thurman's hairline? We need to know. You got that spray on shit?
Man, talking about hairlines, my older son took one of his mother's goddamn razors and shaved off the front of his younger brother's hair. I was like, what the
Hmm?
Oh man.
I was
You
like,
gotta
yeah,
walk around with a Scody.
Is that how they deal with their beef? Yeah, okay, go to sleep.
listen,
Yeah.
these two are like best of friends, arch enemies. I don't know what the fuck is up with these two, man. It's like
Sibling
They
rivalry.
they
oh,
prank each other and do
I
shit
don't
like
know
that.
what it was, man. They only 8 and 5, 8 and 5 years.
Oh no.
And I'm like, why you take the razor and shave? He's like, oh, I didn't know what it would do. I was like, I was like, well, how you know to do that then?
I think the worst thing you could do without knowing how to cut your hair, and this go for grown folks as well, never edge yourself up. Never edge yourself up unless you got you put in some work. Don't do it. You need practice because an edge up is one of the worst things you can do to yourself if you don't know what you're doing. Because that
Keith,
shit
I
just
think
gonna
Keith
keep
was doing that.
it's
I
just
think
going
Keith
you're
probably
gonna
lined
keep
himself up a
pushing
few
it
times.
back and pushing it back. I think I seen a video where dude was edging himself up, and that shit was hilarious. And it didn't dawn on him until the end of the video how bad it is. He pushed this shit way back. I was like, God, this dude's head is just, oh man, too fucked up. Stay away from doing edge ups, y'all. You know what I mean? And if you got a receding hairline, tell the barber easy on the edges, on the edge.
Hey,
Living
yo,
on the edge.
I see Wilder saying he did everything he said he would do in boxing. He said he told his daughter, he would be a champion and take care of her and all that, and that's all, and he don't know if he should take one more go at it. I'm like, you didn't do that one face, one name though. You didn't do that
Well,
one. You promised me you would do one face, one name, and you didn't do shit. You didn't even get close to that.
Yeah. When he finally got in there with a
he was
top
just
notch fighter.
one belt, one name. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
you didn't make the amount. I mean, hey, he overachieved in his life, but in
Yeah, he
boxing,
did.
he underachieved, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I
He
agree.
under.
He did. I mean, it wasn't a bad career though.
Mr. One
Uh,
Time. But you know what?
I think it had a lot to do with the fans with him.
Exactly.
The hype.
He let a
Yes,
group
sir.
of people. He
Yep.
let a group
Yes,
of
sir.
people who survive off of super chats tell him, don't fight no Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Fight Tyson Fury. And then when he could have taken step aside, got one bag, prepared himself better, and then go straight into undisputed. Nah, you gotta fight me. I'm gonna turn down this goddamn undisputed whatever, and you gotta fight me, and I'm gonna take the smaller share of the money.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
It's like when people tell me, "Oh, should Anthony?" I'm like, look, if Anthony Joshua can get a sizable offer to step aside, prepare himself, and go straight into undisputed, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna argue with him.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have thought different of Deontay Wilder. Like, obviously, this dude who you're fighting is a different animal, and you have to prepare yourself more. So, therefore, if you can wait, allow these two to bludgeon each other to death, watch the fight, prepare with your new team, with Malik Scott, and head into undisputed. You could be undisputed in one fell swoop, but nah.
Yeah.
But whatever. So Wilder let people dictate his career for him in the wrong way, but that's just me. Be right back.
And
Man.
you heard from one of the masters. Martin Ramos said, no, hell no, he can't help his edge up. He can't help that airline. And he's one of the best. He's one of the best. and he could.
Forgot.
He said, "Listen, I can't do it, man. I don't care what the tip was like. I can't. I can't help it."
Can't fuck with it.
Oh man. Oh shit. My shit growing out of hand too, man. I don't know
Hey,
what I got going on.
hey, one, two. Just think about this shit. What if he would have went the other path? I don't know which pill was the red one or the blue one, but he took the pill that had Tyson Fury path, right? What if he would took the other pill and went to AJ? He could have been possibly undisputed,
Yeah.
possibly,
Yeah.
right? And a lot more richer than what he is now. Like we know he got money, but the
And
money he
who
walked
knows
away
if
from,
who knows if Tyson Fury would have been training and yeah, probably would have
Tyson
worked in
Fury
his
could have got
favor.
Tyson
The
Fury
bag
probably could
would
have
have
got
been
in
there
there
regardless, though. The bag would have been there regardless,
and
and the
more belts,
legacy was there to
more
be
belts on the
taken.
line.
Yep.
Hmm.
And his right hand is still legit. So if he landed that shit clean,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? It might have been boom. Then they would have been saying that AJ was a hype job.
Yep. They could have ran with all that because he would
Yeah.
have took his belts and he would have had the legacy, man. Be like, damn, this motherfucker went from nothing and just trying to do the best he could for him and his daughter to now undisputed heavyweight champ. But like y'all said, Aaron Cole, you said like the fans, man, that started getting in their head just like they did with T.O. and many others we
Mhm.
can mention, and they get off track, man. They start trying to live their career under the microscope of what their fans is talking about, and this social media era is just really fucking their head up, man, to where they can't just stay focused on what they was already setting out to do. And the second thing about it is like the real boxing fans be a fan of them early on because of they plan how their intent and what they doing in the sport. You like, damn, this dude is really trying to be the best. He trying to fight everybody. He trying to be the best. And then these other fans come late, and then they be like, oh no, you the best. You already the king. Like, oh, I'm a king.
Yeah,
Oh, I am a king.
based on feeding their ego, and then they come
Yep.
out the cuts and shit. I've seen it
Hmm.
when I'm sitting there saying, yeah, these two young fighters looking good, whatever. You know what I mean? They doing their
Then
thing.
they
And you're like,
lose.
yeah,
Then they
and then
lose the real fans like us in the
you
process.
you got the hype fans, you got the race fans.
Hmm.
Oh, we taking over boxing, and it's just like,
Hmm.
all right, yeah, we ain't gonna go that far. Like boxing, man. These boxers are individuals, and just because they walk in with the flag, don't mean that they represent everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
cut the shit. Like, these are just good fighters. Depending on where they coming from and all that stuff, it's good that you know representing your culture, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, loving yourself. But when you start putting yourself above everybody else, hey, this is what happens.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where you at now? Is this dude still Spanish? You know what I'm saying? Are you still gonna rep him like that? You know,
Mm.
it's just like you putting your foot in your own mouth. So that's why I just keep it to the individuals and I keep it to the fight fans and all that. As for the quote unquote rivalries and all that shit, that's to me, I know what that is. That's hype for promotion, and people
Yeah.
come out for that because I'm just gonna keep it real. They're somewhat simple minded, and they're gonna bite on that shit. If that's what makes floats your boat, man, so be it, man. If that's what you enjoy, that's what you enjoy. I ain't gonna knock it, but yeah, man. But I mean, people do deserve opportunities as well that don't get them for alternative reasons, and we know that to be true as well. So I guess some people have a point, but I don't know. I'm just not into it, to be honest with you. I push the guys that are the best, like that I consider to be the best, and that's my opinion. Guys that have some damn good attributes or move right and who literally go out there and earn they shit and they not ducking smoke. Those are the guys that I like to push because I think that's what boxing started off as anyway. I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. Let's get in the ring and figure it out. Once
Yeah.
you
You
lose
know what?
that, than what y'all
Yeah.
in there doing. Really, you know what I'm saying? It
Yeah, like
just
the way I become a fan of these fighters is like I feel like I consider myself a fan that's true to the sport. So the ones that's kind of pushing the sport in the best way, you know what I mean, upholding the sport at the highest level, those are the ones I gravitate to. Those are the fighters that I gravitate to. We call it big champ shit and all of that. So the
right.
ones that's actually doing the uh the the top stuff, the greatest historical stuff like the greats did that came before them. If they still pushing it like that, then that's the ones I gravitate to. It don't have nothing to do with anything else other than, these are the ones that's the best for the sport. And or they say, oh, this is a throwback fighter right here because he fight anybody. He don't act like a diva and shit. But it seems like it's those certain pockets in boxing where you got the ones that's just like throwback fighters. Then you got the diva bracket. Then you got like the dark horse bracket. It's like so many
Yeah,
different pockets. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
It's
So
fun. That's what makes it fun. But
yeah,
some of these fans, man, you don't see them and shit. I mean, I don't have doubts that these motherfuckers literally be crying. Like, you over there crying for real? Is that fighter
hell yeah,
lost?
they crying, bro.
Why did this happen? You know what I mean? It's like, damn, all that shit you were saying, like, you bought into it as well. Fighter bought
Hmm.
into what you were saying, and you bought into the fighter. But we were loyal. It's like, but look at you now, curled up, balled up like a fetus in the corner, not saying shit, crying. You crying. Crying about the shit. Yeah, man, he got cheated and this, that, and the other. It's like, come on, man. These dudes is out here wanting to smoke, and you meat shielding for a guy that ain't ready to cook. He ain't ready to
Right.
cook. They don't want no
Hmm.
smoke. Don't
Right.
want no smoke, man. Like it, and it doesn't make sense. If you a talented fighter, and you buying into the shit. We seen ego deaths in the ring, man. We seen Nas. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker had an ego death, man. I see Mama Ed. Motherfucker slid into a
Oh
depression.
yeah.
Yeah. Like he was
Right.
top notch. He had all the hype. He had everything going for him. He had the great knockouts. He was putting motherfuckers to sleep. He ran into Barrera, and the motherfucker just disappeared into oblivion.
Right.
Gone.
Came back looking
That,
like a Oompa Loompa. Like
yeah,
just
man. That dude like
smurfed out.
5'3" and probably weighed like a good 300 pounds, man. Like how? Like
Right.
the fucking ego death. When ego death, and that's what you based all your shit on, your ego. And it wasn't that he had a lack of talent. It wasn't that he had a lack of skill. It was the ego death. And that's what you're gonna see in fights. And that's when people buy into the hype and you buy into your own hype. That's what happens. That's what
Yeah.
happens. We seen it with fucking Wilder, man. Like now he talk about just retiring. What happened to that guy? What happened to that guy who would knock anybody out? You know what I'm saying? And that's you buying into your own shit. It's a mentality, man. It's a bad one too.
One face, one name, bro.
One face, one name, undisputed, strap
That's
season.
right. Strap
I mean,
season.
you could flame, you could go on and on. Number one guy, I'm the number one guy. Yeah, I can already see it. Here it comes. Here it comes, Kambosos. Get in there with Lomachenko, number one guy. See what you're gonna do.
Well, Bob says he wants to put Shakur versus Lomachenko.
Ah,
Bob said that?
damn, Bob's stupid.
Yeah.
This would be another bad move on his part.
Why is he
Yeah,
stupid for that?
he said that's the fight he wants. That's a pay-per-view fight. That's the fight he wants.
Because he's pushing. Because I'm gonna tell you why it's a dumb move. Because he wants Lomachenko to have that spot again, and I'm not mad at the fight. Don't get me wrong. But as a promoter, what happens when Shakur pulls it off? Lomachenko falls into oblivion, and there's plenty of fights for
I mean,
Lomachenko.
but what does that dub do for Lomachenko? Like
Nothing.
this, I'm trying to look at it like how does it benefit Lomachenko right now? Like I can see what it does for Shakur, and I'm not saying that I'm opposed to the fight, but what weight class is gonna happen at, and what's gonna
It's
be on
catch
the line?
weight.
It's a catch weight.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think it's a good fight, but for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. It don't
Like,
make sense right now.
Yeah, it don't
It don't make sense right now. I mean, it's two names.
Why would
in
you
sport,
put him
bro.
in, and why would you put Shakur in with Lomachenko rather than put Shakur in with
Oscar?
Oscar?
Oscar T.
I don't know. He said he wants Valdez versus Burchell.
Put him in there with Oscar. Put him in there with
That's it.
Navarrete. Something like that. Not no
I don't
damn
know. I think he
Lomachenko.
must be cashing out. I don't know.
I don't know.
Bob
He
ready
losing
to
his
go, I think. Yeah.
his way out of some
That
shit.
doesn't make any sense. Like that fight don't make any sense right now. Even though I'm not against the fight, it just doesn't make sense. I think
Yeah, I
it's
was
a
looking
great
at like
matchup.
eventually down the line or something, like maybe
Right?
a year
That's
or two
what
from now.
that's what the man said he wants, bro. I can only say what Bobby said that's what he said he wants. So
I
that's a
don't know.
big
No,
pay.
nobody's even asking for that fight either. So it's like who's really interested in that matchup right now? I
You
haven't heard
rolling it,
nobody.
and to be honest, you rolling the dice with both careers. You know, and if that's your young up and coming fighter, like why are you risking that? And then if this is your cash cow or your favorite fighter, why are you rolling the dice with that?
Well,
I
like I
guess it's
said
a great
before,
fight.
like I said before, it's a hell of a fighter.
I don't know. That just makes zero sense. I can't wrap my head around that fight. Like, but I would watch the shit out of it. I would definitely tune in. Maybe that's the route he's going. He just like maybe they need each other. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, Lomachenko ain't never been no big time seller to me. I don't know Lomachenko to be no like
That's
big
true
time.
too.
I don't so maybe he knows something I don't know. So and I don't know Shakur to be no big pay-per-view guy. So who I don't know. I don't know. I'm not he said pay-per-view. That would be a good free fight. But who buys Lomachenko pay-per-view? That man went to England and it flopped. So whatever, man. That's just me. Black gone. Am I on mute? Y'all can hear me? Nah, this is some bullshit. 1-2 kid. God damn it. Oh, well, I don't know, Laron, man. I mean, well, hey, since it's just me here, man, hey, I took over the show. It's the Kong show. That's saying, yeah. So, we're going to talk about Tank Davis, who is not a cash cow, who was offered almost $8 million to fight Tevin Farmer. And Tank Davis said on video that, yeah, he know that Eddie Hearn sent an offer to his team, but his team didn't even show him the offer, so it must not have been that good. Tank Davis is being stolen from Team Mayweather, and I'm not sure why these young people choose to sign with these crooks, Leonard Ellaby and these people. If 1-2 Kid was here, I would tell him play the video of Tank saying he didn't see no offer. What kind of a team does not show an offer like that to the fighter at least and discuss it? These young men need to understand that people like Leonard Ellaby made their living off of the back of fighters. And that's how he keeps his lifestyle going. Laron says, I don't think Tank can get away from Team Mayweather. I don't think so either. I don't know. But again, if 1-2 Kid was here, I would ask him to share my screen so I can play the video. Because I heard Leonard Ellaby talking some dumb shit about Eddie Hearn don't understand young black fighters or some shit. But it's like Leonard Ellaby and them made their living off of stealing from these dudes. Again, this video with Tank, when he said, they didn't even show him the offer, was so sad. And somehow I think Tank is not completely happy with these dudes. But as Laron said, I don't think whatever contract he signed with these guys, he can't get away from them. He can't get away. He needs to make a deal with somebody to buy his way out of that contract, because it's going to start messing with his confidence if they keep making him fight these type of fights. Right? These type of fights, like, it reminds me of Deontay Wilder. They kept Deontay Wilder fighting low budget guys because it was useful for the network, but not necessarily for the fighters. So you keep Deontay fighting on a certain platform, and it's low cost because of the contenders, the challengers don't get no money. What's up, 1-2?
Hey man, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
That's okay.
Thanks for keeping it going, bro.
I use my goddamn powers to take over your show. Curses, you got back in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was saying, it's like they're using Tank like how they use Wilder, where Wilder was kept fighting low budget opposition for the benefit of network ratings or whatever, but not necessarily for good for Deontay Wilder's career or pockets. So they're doing it with Tank, where Tank's on pay-per-view, and the pay-per-views don't cost too much to put on because nobody's making no money. Tank ain't making no big money, and his opponents ain't making no big money. So they can always break even, because their overheads ain't that much. But what does that do for someone like Tank Davis's abilities, where he's not being put in there with high-level opposition constantly? And, I just find it ridiculous. That's all,
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like it.
Look what happened with Wilder. As soon as he got in there with somebody high level, he got bludgeoned.
Hey, and welcome to the Iron Kong show, y'all.
I don't know why you ain't send me that, man.
I did send it to you.
I checked my email. I don't have it in my emails, man.
Well, I sent it to you, man. I'll try to send it again. I'll send it again. Oh, but yeah, I sent it to you. As soon as I got your email, I sent it.
Just use the email that we use in the back chat, man. Use that.
Okay, cool. We could do that.
But yeah, man, Tank needs to goddamn find a way to get away from, because it's not doing no good for his career. It's not doing no good for his career. Tank is almost 30 years old. I always thought he was younger. Maybe it's the Cabbage Patch face. I didn't know he was like, he's past his mid-20s. He's closer to 30 than 20. I was shocked. And this dude ain't doing shit.
It's not, man. It's a stagnant career, and they're attaching pay-per-view to it as well, because that's the only way they can pay this guy to get in the ring, because they're not accepting anything less than a certain amount, I imagine. And the numbers ain't all that great, considering where boxing is today. It doesn't make sense. A lot of this shit don't make sense to me. Oscar Tees needs to get in there with Shakur Stevens. But I'm not mad at the Navarrete fight. But it kind of makes you wonder why Bob wouldn't put him in there with Oscar Tees, with Valdez, but willing to put him in there with Lomachenko. Makes zero sense to me, anyway. Yeah, zero. But Tank, yeah, man, Tank's career to me is somewhat of a joke. He's a talented guy. I just would like to see him in there with a big name at 135, man. A big name, not just random guy. I want to see him in there with other than random guy with a belt, with a trinket belt, not even a real one. And the fact that the dude ain't even going for any of the big belts bothers me. It's like, well, belts don't matter. That's the excuse. It's like, then what the fuck are you carrying that fake one around for then? If belts don't matter.
Exactly. He told the WBA that he's gonna abdicate the 140 belt. And it's like, but I thought you wanted to fight Josh Taylor. I guess not.
Yo, Josh Taylor, that'd be different. That'd be some different work, man. I don't know if you want that smoke. I think that's cap. Like Ryan be capping, like Teal be capping, like all these dudes be out here capping. It just, you got to know it when you see it and know it when you hear it. You know what I mean?
Have we heard from Teal since since the debacle at MSG?
Very little, other than him with an oxygen mask on after the fight.
Damn.
I seen that pic, and then dude's talking about he running around here with escaping air in his lungs, and I'm like, okay, well that's why he lost. He went in there with an injury. He had an injury, y'all. All the excuses coming out, the woodwork. So, that's what it is, man. Most of these fighters go in there injured anyway. And if it's a ailment that he had prior, then why wasn't the excuse used when he pulled off all them big dubs? He wasn't talking like that. Then why is it now a big thing now that he lost? It's an excuse because he got to where he got with that same shit. So what's the point? And when Loma used the excuse that his shoulder was hurt, he got flamed. I flamed him. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear no excuses. I know what the real thing is, though. This dude was a diva. This dude bought into his hype, and he got his ass whooped. And that's just what happened. And it didn't matter how much he tried in that ring, he couldn't beat this guy because he ain't put the work in the gym, and he bought into his own hype. And that's what you get. It's a recipe for disaster, once again. And we're going to continue to see this in the boxing game. And I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it because you're going to have to blaze that trail on your own eventually. And when you do get your ass whooped, hopefully it humbles you. Because if it don't, you might as well just flush your career down the toilet because that's what you're doing, man. You buying into the shit. You ain't making adjustments. We've seen it with T.O. We've seen it with Floyd. I mean, not Floyd. We've seen it with Wilder. It's just we've been talking about Floyd and he talking about irrelevant shit. It just like it doesn't. None of the shit really matters, man. That they talking about. Like, why aren't we talking about Tank fighting a big guy? Why ain't some contracts being signed? Why ain't we making that work? I mean, this is a perfect time for some overhyped guys to get in the ring and square it off. You know what I'm saying? Teal could be fighting. Who's the other overhyped guy? Another super overhyped guy that got bludgeoned. You know what I mean? He could be in there with one of them, clear that up. Like, now this guy's got nothing to offer. Now he's known as quote unquote a hype job. Now his boys jumped off the train. As soon as he took the loss, they threw that man, you know what I mean? All that hype they would talk about. Teal undisputed, Teal this, Teal that. Are they saying Kambosos undisputed? Same people?
Oddly enough, some of them are saying, yeah.
Well, then there you go. They still believe the bullshit. They still get flamed. You know what I'm saying? They still get flamed. And you got a guy with a WBC title that will make that a true undisputed, to clear that up, and he could start his career off right with not only a big win with Teal, but actually becoming undisputed. And then it doesn't matter if he gets the fucking titles snatched from him. At least he did it the right way. You know what I mean? And he could go down in history as an undisputed champion. And whoever wins that undisputed will truly be undisputed no matter where it goes, till the titles decide to split it all up and start the bullshit all over again.
But that's where we are, man. A12, thanks for having me, bro. I'm going back to work now.
Absolutely, man. I'll try to get you that email as well. I'll jump
man.
on the Google chat, see if I can find that for you.
Peace
But
to
that's
you.
all thanks for coming on, man. And that goes to Black, that goes for everybody else. I'm probably gonna cut it short myself, man. Got a couple of things to do. But yeah, man. Thanks for the support, guys. Always appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure for me to share my thoughts and to get y'all thoughts as well. And let y'all come up here and share y'all thoughts on the game. And where we at with it, man, with this boxing shit. It's been interesting. It's been a roller coaster ride. I'll give it that. It ain't got a lack of interest, but I just got zero tolerance for the bullshit. So it makes it fun to call the shit out, man. Shout out to LeBron, Big Boy Boxing that came through. Let's see what he had to say real quick before I go. The better man won on the night. Yeah, exactly. Just lose fighters, fans, and value. Yeah, and it doesn't help boxing as well. You know what I mean? The loss that turned the fans. Yeah, delusional talk. Yeah, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, it's the loss for some of the fans, the fake fans, the guys that weren't really the fans of him. They're fans of what he represented, and what he represented was all wrong. And we've seen it with the whole Wilder situation. We see it. We're gonna probably see it again with the Tank situation. Once this guy gets in there with some real meat and potatoes, is he gonna have what it takes to pull it off? We don't know. Well, we shall see. Maybe it's not too late for him. But this the 1-2 Kid signing off. Thanks for coming in. When I did check in, and have a good one, y'all. Peace.